You're listening to 182.3. Care what people think.
God damn, bro, I smell like ass because I can't afford any deodorant. And today on the Care What People Think podcast, we're going to be talking about how much money do we need. Welcome here.
That intro stinks.
Yeah, I know, right?
Stinks.
So, welcome. If you've never listened, if you're new here, intros usually don't go like that, but I had to let Ryan know some of that information because, yeah, it's an important topic. Especially, I know we've talked a lot about like jobs, getting your first job, or you're out of college and just struggling with money because that's everyone fucking struggles with money.
Not after college only, bro. Just every part of life until you're in the grave, and then it's hard to buy a gravestone. So then that's also a money problem. So continue.
No facts. Today we're gonna be talking about it because let me flex real quick. I worked at a job for a year and I now got a little 5% salary raise. That's cool. It's not what I'm proud of because frankly, I'm grateful for what I've been given. However, the work that I do,
it will
so much fucking.
It will.
What?
Guess what?
Oh shit! Wait. Make sure to.
I didn't even care about that actually, but all I was thinking about was when you were flexing, dude. All I thought is like you had your bicep up to the mic and said, "Yeah,
dude, I
did
got
this job, dude."
I
genuinely thought you just like rolled up your arms and you're like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a flex," and you're just like pulsing and you're like, "Yeah, got $100 raise."
I almost did. That's what's sad. But if you are new here, make sure if you do listen through this episode, appreciate a rating or a review because that helps us out a lot, especially subscribing to the YouTube channel. We're gonna be changing up some stuff in the coming weeks, so it's actually clickable content. There's your little hint. But yeah, we'd really appreciate
promo flexing.
We're trying to. This is episode 40, actually.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Almost 12 episodes, and
we're almost to 2040 too. Did you not? We're closer to 2040 than we are to 1996.
No.
That's also true.
No, we're closer to 2030 than 2016.
That's
me
weird.
Like, EXO tour life. Who?
2016 was lit though. I'm not gonna lie, and
2016 was a goated year.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But first thing I'm proud of this week, again, we always start with something that we're proud of. I guess kind of similar to 2 weeks ago, I said that I got a freelance job for a YouTuber to do some designing for products they wanted for a YouTube video to do. Good news, I have that actually done. Problem was with the shipping of the print shop that took a bit longer than anticipated, so it sucks because it's getting there a bit later. However, I'm actually done and it's being delivered, I think, tomorrow morning. So quite literally within like 12 hours, which means I probably should have billed the rest of the bill today, but I'm going to get money for freelance. I'm going to get the second 50%, which is bless.
Let's go.
He's going to make the video and then supposedly I'm going to do a reminder because I fucking would love to.
Do you need this money, Will, or do you want this money?
Yes, I very do much need.
Perfect, because that's the topic episode. How much money do we need?
You can Venmo me at Will. You can also PayPal me.
CWPT podcast.
That's
our Venmo. Okay, no, I'm kidding. We do not have that Venmo. Do not give whatever that man is money for you. It's probably man. Yeah, let's be honest. Anyway,
I'm proud of that because
I'm proud of you, bro. Honestly, bringing in the racks, still flexing on all of us that you're just richer than us, and just the fact.
See my bicep.
You told my bicep. All I'm thinking about is like SpongeBob, dude, like where he's just flexing in that one episode.
I'll pop it for you.
Oh my gosh, dude! Did something just crack? All right. Anyway, dude.
Off topic.
What I'm
backtrack.
Oh my!
You hear that?
Jesus, dude.
Wait, no, I got it.
This isn't even a flex at this point, dude.
I just had to flex my back real quick.
No, that wasn't.
I see my bicep.
That's just showing that you're old, bro. All I heard was like bones just crackling. I was just like, dude, bro is a dinosaur. So, that's all I have to say about that. What I was gonna do is congratulate you, Will, because I don't know if you told the podcast this, but this freelance job almost kind of like helped you this last month or two. I'm gonna use the word help because
I think it. Yeah.
because I mean, it's very much more than help. It honestly was like saving grace. So I think that's very cool, and I'm happy for you in that regard. And hopefully, it gives you more projects that you know are for a long,
Yeah.
long time. So
No,
anyway,
thanks.
what's the number, Will?
Gaming clutch. What number?
What's the number?
What's the number? This is episode number 40.
No, read the title.
What's the number? Oh, the
Yeah,
number to the right of the letters, not on the left of the letters.
yeah.
Um,
The answer
um,
to the episode.
enough. I'll also answer it
You're
without
actually
numbers.
no. Okay, you're actually right. That's a great way of putting it because I mean the question is how much money is actually enough, right? There's an old study, and I'm gonna bring this out that says $75,000 a year is the magic number for happiness. This was done in
Yep.
2012, which is
Oh,
13 years ago. 13 years ago, and also like as we all know, that is probably maybe like 1.5 times like or sorry like we want 1.5 times what that is now. We're probably looking to be
yeah,
closer to 125K to just feel
probably.
like it's enough. And so I'm going to ask you, Will, what do you think is like the real sweet spot in 2025 March?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were gonna say, okay, well, I'm gonna ask you, what is your salary? How much do you make? What is your rent? I need to know how much money you make to know how much we need. What's
Do
funny
you
is
agree with
before I
me?
answer that, what
Like the
75K?
125K, like something like that.
Yeah, that sounds that sounds more comfortable. I mean, I wouldn't fucking know because that's just so beyond what I get paid. But like, I was gonna combat. I was gonna combat that set. You said 75K was like comfortable in
That
2020.
was like actually enough, meaning
Enough.
like
Okay.
you feel on the verge of like rich. Like, and that's
That
per person. That's per person.
that's
So, like,
crazy.
for a
Okay.
household, if it's you and
150.
your wife, that's 150. That's pretty decent.
Okay. Cuz I looked this study came out this year. The price of the American dream in 2025, this includes buying
Oh
a
god.
house,
Oh god.
buying a house, having two kids, nuclear family type beat, having two cars, and full-time jobs. So you have to have car insurance, you have internet bill, you have phone, you have like that. $4.4 million.
All right, bro. That is way more than enough. We both know that. We
Nope,
both know
nope,
that.
not enough. Oh, that also included vacation time. That was like the main thing.
4.4 mil is that's just on the verge of enough. I think that is way more than we need.
No. That's the American dream. So technically, we're measuring
Oh,
two different things. 75K wasn't the American dream. I'm assuming the American dream in 2012 probably would have been at least like
500
700
million.
k.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say like man, it's a million. So I'm like, but I again to travel on vacation like whenever you well, no one can really travel whenever they want, but ideally the American dream of starting from
Okay,
the
so let's
bottom.
start with yours first. American Dream. In my opinion, I think that number is valid because an American, as lovely as I would love to say they are, most of them are snotty as shit and they want what they want, bro. Somebody
Yep.
wants a Lamborghini Urus, they want two of those in pink, wrapped. They want a house with like 1 million acres and they want to fucking go to Greece every other weekend. And that's $4.4 million. And so in my opinion, I don't think that's far off. For me, I don't think I would need that for the American dream because my dream is a little bit different than that. But on average, for the American, I agree. Do you agree?
Uh,
All right, perfect.
sorry, I was trying to make a joke.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll take that as an agreement. As far as my number goes, 150K for per household about 10, 15 years ago was enough money to have a secure and a very good place in life. I still don't think 150K is bad by any means, but it also depends where you live. It depends on your factors. It depends. There's so many things, right? So, like making,
Yeah.
let's just say 150K per household in New York City is a lot
Oh
different
yeah.
than but fuck nowhere in Montana. Like 150K per year in Montana is going to give you a mansion where it's going to be a 20 square foot apartment in New York. So, and then
Yeah.
also factors like kids, factors like traveling, factors like like just a lot of things, lifestyle, social expectations can change what enough really means. And so this is my perspective, but I think it really does depend on the person. I pulled a will and I said it depends because it does.
Let's go.
And for
Let's
me
go.
personally, I know tons of people out there that can live on saltines and I don't even know, like water. I mean, Will is a perfect example if he needs to be.
Let's
But
go.
what I'm trying to say is I think people can live a very poor lifestyle and still be very happy and feel like that's equivalent to what they want. Whereas other people, okay, actually, I'm not going to say that, but damn, I can't say that actually. But no, I'm going to say it. I'm going
I
to say it.
know what he's
I'm
gonna
going to say it.
say.
I'm going to say it. And this, I think, is a
Yep.
statistic. This is a statistic.
Oh.
Probably. Don't quote me on this.
Oh, man's getting
The
canceled.
female gender
I knew
is
he was gonna
more
say it.
likely
I knew he was
to
gonna say it.
spend money, and I don't
I
mean
knew he was
that in
gonna
a
say
mean
it.
way. They're
I knew he
more
was gonna say it.
likely to buy more clothes, like, and just go through more wardrobes, more likely to I don't know what the word is, but just and it's not a bad thing. I like spending money for my girl, and I assume you do too. But, like,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get at is that, it's just a different lifestyle, and my expectations of what I need are very different than a lot of other people. So, um
Okay, no, that's a funny point you make. I was gonna butt in and say, talk to my mom. My mom does not like buying a lot of things because she just likes buying experiences and like
Again, it's
traveling
not
and
all
stuff.
women, 100%,
I know.
100%.
It was just funny though because I was about to come in and clutch and save you and say, like, statistically, women are more targeted with things to buy. Like, you have a purse, you have more outfits that you have. I mean, fucking on one end, you have tits. You have to buy a bra, bro, or a fucking like push-up bra, or a sports bra, or men don't even have to worry about that. Men could wear a tank top or a shirt or shorts, and they could literally be in a house for like a fucking week and just have less things.
100%, bro.
So
I agree
yeah,
with
your
you.
point of everyone having different stuff. I was going to say, let my landlord talk right now. Um, how much money do we need? You need 3.5 times rent. That is what the national answer is. You need 3.5 times rent, so that's how much money you're perfectly okay with, right? Two and a
Yep.
half, 3.5 times rent. That's the. By the way, no one fucking our age is making that fucking money.
By the way, I'm not even making
This,
double, so
yeah, same. Like, like
by the way, I'm
two and a
barely
half times
making rent,
rent.
bro. By the way, dude, I had to lie to my front office. I hope they're not listening to this, but I had to lie and say I made 3.5 times rent just so I could sign. And I had pay stubs where I was making 3.5 times rent when I
Yeah,
was
you
at my
just had
serving
good
job.
months. Yep,
No,
same.
yeah, when I was at my serving job, but then they didn't realize I wasn't gonna be a server anymore, and I had to kinda lie. But you're so right, dude. People our age, 23, all the way down to 18, all the way up to 27. I will give that range of 10 years. I genuinely think this age range struggles so much nowadays to just pay rent, and I think it's so undermined or, like, underlooked, the fact, like, more single people, right? So less households.
Yeah.
Also, rent is only getting higher. Jobs are paying less compared to rent. And I'm like, "Dude, what is going on?" So as like not single, but as a person who lives by themselves and pays their own bills on a pretty shitty salary, to be honest, dude, we're cooked. That's what I have to say. We're cooked.
that's that's just so funny that because I also kind of did the same thing. I was not making 2.5 times rent, and they were like, "Hey, we need pay stubs." But I had a 2 month run of really fucking good payments from when I was doing freelance, kind of like work for Rap TV. I had 2 fucking great months, which would have showed I qualified, but then the work went down. So like I got approved credit. I also had to have like a bunch of money in savings, which is what I did because I went to college and I got my Rap TV editing job. So I worked all of the 1 year that I was on campus at well, I guess it was 2 years I worked the job on college campus. So I didn't have any bills. So then I just saved it all because I knew I was going to be fucked with the 2.5 times rent thing. But yeah, this is not financial advice, but a tip. This is not financial advice. If you are trying to figure out getting approved for apartments, yeah, just save as much fucking money as you can because
Pause.
that's
This is
the
not
only way.
financial advice.
Yes, there you go. That's the
No,
one.
but
That's
on a real though, like I kind of had to gaslight my my front
that's
office lady, bro.
crazy.
No, because dude, she literally knew I was gonna be good for it to pay my rent, no matter how I paid it. But she like couldn't authorize it until I showed a number, and I get it. I mean, if you're running an apartment complex, you're looking at the numbers. You're not looking at the person, and so I kind of sweetened it up, gave her a couple. I don't know, gave her some
You're like, I
food,
bought
brought
her
her
some. No way.
dead ass,
No
bro. No,
way.
I went to
Are you
IKEA,
serious?
bro. We bought her some like
Oh
muffins
my.
and shit. No, I'm not even like she was actually just a really nice person in general, but like it also helped just being a nice person. And I thought it was just numbers, but she really did help me out and was like, "Okay, I know you're on a time frame. I know you're good for it." And so that's another tip. Don't take my advice necessarily, but if you're struggling to find rent or like a
Lie.
place, no, no, okay, not lie, but like low key in person relationships matter a
Oh, yeah,
lot
that's
more
true.
than like an application online. They see your face, they see if you're good for it. If you're holding a gun when you walk in, they're most likely not going to sign you. If you walk in and have a smile on your face and bring in some muffins, they're going to be like, "Damn, this dude
My man
cares."
my man dated the landlord to get the apartment.
All
That's
right, bro,
crazy.
don't out me, dude. Maybe I don't know
Do you know what is crazy?
what.
I don't think I've said this on the show before. This made me feel so like sad, but I also was like, what the fuck? I can't do anything. I was on the phone with a relative, I'll just say, that is older. And first of all, the phone call was, hey, I finally got a job after 3 months of searching because they were calling saying, like, hey, I like was calling to wonder because they had known I was trying to find a job a year and a half ago before I had this job. And they were like, "Oh, I was just calling, hope everything's good or whatever." And I literally said, "Oh, I got a job, it's great." But finding it took so long because I quite literally sent 230 job applications and one place got back to me, which was the job I have now.
Jeez.
And bro, she literally went, well, when I needed a job after college, I was looking to get into psychology and like analytics stuff. And I knew I wanted to work like in school. So I marched on down to the university and I opened the department doors and I walked in with my resume and said, "Hey, my name is blank and I'm looking for a job." And they gave me the job on the spot. And I'm like, dude, what?
I'm like, dude, I was
Immediately
born in the 1950s. Holy
that's what
shit.
I'm saying. I'm like, that to me just first of all blown my mind of just like, wow, this is crazy because this just shows how different of a world
You should
this
have asked her
relative
what
grew up in.
horse-drawn carriage she drove in on. Like, what the hell, dude? Were there even
Nah, she
paved
walked in.
roads?
She
Dude,
walked in.
there
She just
wasn't even
walked
a
in.
school, bro. I guarantee it was just a little campfire and she walked up. Dude, that
That's
is
just
wild
crazy.
to me. And I think I agree. I want to bring up the generational gap because I feel pressure from my parents. I'm going to bring
Yeah.
this up. I don't think they really necessarily mean it in a bad way, but they think the world is very one way, right? Because
Yeah.
they grew up cheaper houses, more better paying jobs, better benefits, more flexible, if you will, in a way. Also, a lot more jobs hiring. And so, yeah, okay. And another thing, colleges after college, once you have that degree, it opens a lot more doors, in my opinion, than where we are now. So
Yeah.
again, where our parents were, they I don't know about you, but that put that pressure on me to like, hey, you got to get this college level job after that pays so much more. And then on top of it, like expect to put in savings. And I don't think it's realistic because
Yeah.
I think this 50, okay, I don't know if I even mentioned this, but there's a 50-30-20 rule where it's 50% to needs, 30s to wants, and 20 to savings. Who the
Oh yeah.
hell is spending 30% of your paycheck on what you want to do? No, I'm spending 100% on my paycheck on paying rent, bro. Second off, 20% to
On
savings?
savings?
Hell
Nah.
no. Hell no. That's going to traveling, so I don't pay therapists, dude. And let's be real. Let's be real, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Who is actually sticking to this at this point of their life? Like, I'm gonna ask you that, Will. Like, do you stick to
No,
that
I
shit?
if I were to actually do like a percentage breakdown, I would say like 60 to 70% of my total goes to rent. And then, no. I'd say like 60% goes to rent. And then 40 is just wants. But wants is including still things that are needs, like water and groceries. Because, fun fact, I
Totally.
grew up in Colorado. You drink out of the fucking tap. You can't do that in California. That's
That
something you don't know if
sucks.
you, like, bro, you have to buy water. Do you know why? Do you know why, Ryan? That's why. That's why.
Why,
That's why.
bro?
The water comes out of the sink fucking brown. Dude, water, Colorado, privilege as fuck.
We don't discriminate.
I drank from the tap water every day. The tap in my bathroom, everyone in my family agreed that was the best water. That spigot had the best fucking water. The fluoride in the water fucking tastes so good. It's clear, tastes like I'm licking a mountain. And it's amazing.
I'm worried
But
there
then
was like a cocaine like wall, like just a full on like cocaine.
Leak in my pipes.
Yeah, leak or whatever, just like a full-on facility under your house, just like pumping out cocaine water. You guys are
Dude,
like,
it
oh
was
my
so
god, this water is just so good. And
No,
just
it
like
was
next thing you
so
know, like your
good.
brother's just like coked out but doesn't even know. He's like, Will, get over here, dude. Come on, dude, just take a bump, bro. What do you mean?
Dude,
Like,
it
dude,
was
this
so
water is just
good.
so white, bro.
And then also it's a city because California, again, I get that I'm choosing to live in an expensive area, but like it's fucking more expensive than it should be. And so there's like the water, there's food, so there's wants, and then I would say that's like a sliver of the wants. Then there's wants like, for example, like a career that I'm trying to pursue, YouTube videos, right? I had to pay $230 to get my prime print from the printing company. That
Yeah.
was my own purchase, but like I can't work with. I mean, again, I guess that's a pretty privileged statement to say because that is really far beyond like wants. But that would be like, say, like, okay, I don't know how much restaurants are in North Carolina, bro. Now that you have a girlfriend, minimum you're paying $55, $60 minimum. When you go
Yeah,
out
I
to eat.
mean, relative to
Minimum.
you, it's gonna be the same. It's like 40, 50 for me, so it makes sense.
That's crazy. Do you have BJ's? Do you have BJ
I
restaurants
don't
out?
think so. No.
Do you? Because I was trying to credit me and my girlfriend love. I'm not gonna call us foodies because that's a little too millennial, but we do love food. We love
I'm a
going out
foodie, bro.
and eating. Okay, cool. Okay,
I'm a
that's weird.
foodie.
I'm
Bro is
when
a foodie without saying it. It's basically
when
like saying, dude, like you're trying to like say you're not smart, right? But you're just like,
yeah.
yeah, well, like I'm just like, I know everything, but like I'm not smart, bro. But like, like I know all the books and I'm probably more intelligent than you, but I'm not
I,
smart. That's
I
what you're basically saying, bro.
I
You're a
know all the
foodie.
books. It's crazy. So at BJ's though, we will get one burger each. It'll come with fries. We'll get an appetizer of the
BJ?
the no the appetizer of the the chips and dip, whatever that dip cheese thing is. I don't eat it, but well,
Queso?
some days I do it. No, it's thicker than that. It's a different type of cheese because it's not as
Thick,
creamy.
thick queso?
No, but we get one appetizer and then we get an appetizer of wings. And then I think she'll get a drink because I don't typically drink even soda. I don't drink anything.
Bro,
on my
why are we
meal.
the same
Apparently I'm
person,
insane.
dude? Why are we the same
Okay, thank
person?
you. Okay, that what I just listed. 2 burgers, 2 appetizers, and a drink. Why is that $125?
Before tip.
Before tip. Thank
Don't
you.
get me
Before
started on
tip.
tipping
Before
culture.
tip. Dude, that should be a
Starting
whole
at
episode.
40%.
That, that
I
should be a
agree.
whole
I agree.
episode.
If y'all want to hear that, dude, please hit us up for a tipping culture episode because what the fuck is going on? Your boy walks in to a brewery. This happened last week. I'm not even kidding. Walked into a brewery, bought a beer, $8 beer. Not a big deal, right? First tipping option was 25%. Went
What?
20, 30, 35. I literally
What?
clicked custom and clicked 0, looked at her
Yep,
face while
do
I
it.
was signing.
Do
Dude,
it.
it
Oh,
is a
yeah.
beer. I'm sorry. What the fuck? Who is paying 25% as the lowest option?
Yeah,
That's
that's
half my.
that's
That's
the
like
highest.
35% is almost half my beer. Why the fuck am I giving that to you when you just made a pour that took 10 seconds?
Not even that. You just swiveled the iPad around and you said, it'll just ask you a question real quick.
Dead ass. And then I worked my serving job. The lowest is 15, goes up to 20. No, 18 goes up to 22. Why the fuck is the
Huh.
highest option lower than the lowest option in a brewery? And guess what? Idiots are clicking 25, 30, which I mean, I totally respect. It's
crazy.
awkward not to click it sometimes. But I'm like, holy shit, dude. So that's a whole nother episode. I could rant forever. But
That's crazy. 30? That's insane.
no, I
That's
like asked my friend that I was with, and I was like, yo, is this like normal? And he's like, yeah, I've seen this like a lot of places. 25 sometimes is the minimum now. I'm like, dude, imagine that on a $125 bill. Whatever the math is for 25%, it's going to be like another $40 tip. What the fuck?
No, don't worry. It was 35%.
Yeah, what's 35% of 125?
Oh,
That's
125?
Yeah, let's
Oh,
just
I
say
can't
your
do the math.
meal out, dude, with Paris at McDonald's.
There's just no way that I just did 125 plus 35.
I can already tell you it's going to be like 44 or something.
43.75.
Exactly.
So it's gonna cost you $168.75 compared to 125. if that's
Oh,
the
make
case.
sure to pay out with a Ziosk. Lowest tip is 25%. You can't even put customs here. That's just gratuity. Like, dude, what the fuck? I'm at like that's gonna be our future, dude. I'm worried. Anyway, dude, we need to get back on the spending, what money actually is, because we're gonna
Oh
make
yeah.
another episode on tipping.
Yeah, facts. One thing that I did want to mention, that I think is very important that I have personally learned through creatively just designing stuff or creating stuff. Most people think you have to have the certain equipment to do shit, which like fun fact, the sooner you get a hold of this, the sooner you'll save money and or actually like develop cool shit. Learn how to be productive with what you have. That will save you so much money. If you buy a microphone, doesn't make you a good singer. If you buy a computer, doesn't make you a gamer. There's like
Agreed.
an easy buyout that obviously in our capitalistic society, it's like on the front of your mind where it's like, oh, if I just buy something, then I can do it. Bro, nah. You can do what you want with whatever you have. Your phone,
Whoa,
it can
whoa,
literally
whoa,
access
whoa.
the internet. Okay, okay.
That's a
let me
big
chill.
statement.
Let
Wait,
me
wait, give me an
let me chill.
example. No, no,
Let me
Will, let
chill.
me just try to answer this. Heart
No, no.
surgeon.
Okay, okay, yeah. So that
That's what
okay,
I
it
thought.
doesn't.
Okay.
If you're wanting to like learn something, literally the only thing you need is willpower. Not even biased with that word.
I agree with
I'm
that.
just saying, like, if you YouTube is the easiest thing for me because that's what I've been trying to pursue for 12 years. But like, if you have a phone, you have an automatic camera, you have an automatic editing. Like you can get an app to edit your stuff, and then you have the internet with the phone to post it wherever. If you're funny, it'll just pop off. It just sucks because you have to try really fucking hard to be funny, or you don't know how to be funny, or there's a lot of gray area with that. But like, you don't have
But
to
there's
buy
also
tools
yeah,
all the
I
time.
agree. I agree with that. And I think it's also just important to like not always need the newest updated thing because I got caught in that loop maybe like 5, 6 years ago, especially where I was like, I always need the newest phone. I always need the newest equipment for whatever I need to do. And I'm like, dude, no, you don't, dude. You need to be creative on your own and then the equipment will come. Like, don't
Man's
get me
had a
wrong.
Samsung.
All
Man's had
right.
a
Okay.
Samsung.
All right.
So
It's just
clearly he
not.
wasn't getting the top
Just
10 top
bro
phone.
just outed me. Bro had a iPhone 6 until like 2020, dude.
Nope. Nope.
My fault.
So
7.
close.
My
So
fault.
close.
Was it an
So
8?
close. Yeah. I don't
Damn
know
it.
how I did that. I had an iPhone 8 from 2018 to 2022. At the
Okay,
end of
so you know how
2022.
Will's point was make sure to, rely on your own smarts.
Willpower.
That was straight stupidity on his end. That what the hell was
Bro,
that?
my phone was so broken it couldn't make phone calls. That's the
Okay,
whole
see,
point
that's
of
what
a
I'm talking
phone.
about. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's crazy to me. I still
I didn't
remember
even
it,
drop
dude.
it.
Green OtterBox case.
Oh, that was
Bro,
the 5. That was
oh,
the
that was a
5. That was
5, my
before my
fault.
8.
That
Yeah, I
was
had
even
that for 2
shittier.
years. Yeah.
Damn.
No finger pad. The OG home button. The OG
It's
home button.
crazy, dude. That is actually nuts. Dude, we're getting sidetracked again, but basically, I mean, I agree with your point, dude. Willpower is more important than anything tangible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, I think I want to bring up one more point before I wrap things up, but I think that the idea that more money equals more happiness is not touched on a lot. Like I know people say it, but dude, it needs to be talked about more, especially in today's day and age. Dude, I see TikToks all the time of people like flexing their cars, flexing their life. Dude, fuck that shit. At what point does the grind just become exhausting? It's exhausting, dude.
Never.
If you're always
Never
trying to be
does.
the
I'm
best,
Sigma. I'm Sigma.
dude,
Never
for
does.
real though. Like, okay, yeah, go to the gym, dude. Keep working yourself out. I'll sit in bed once in a while. Shut the fuck up, dude. I'll scroll right past your TikTok eating my chips. I'm being so for real, dude. There's a balance. I get it, man. Making money is awesome, but also enjoying life is just as awesome. If that's what you want to be, a Sigma male with a Lamborghini flexing on kids, sure, do that. But
The
like,
flexing.
I'm serious, dude. Like, if all your bills were covered and you never had to work again, what would your days look like? Would you be doing that? No, I wouldn't. And like, some people say they'd still work, but let's fucking be honest. Even to you, Will, you
Nah,
would
nah, nah.
not.
I
You would
wouldn't
not.
work it as hard, but I definitely would work because
You
I
would
enjoy the creative process. Like
Okay,
regardless.
I wouldn't consider that work then though. Like I wouldn't
Okay.
say I would say you're doing that for fun. Like you
Yes.
have motivation, but I mean, you know what I mean. Not everyone can say that they love their job, which is sad, but it's true. Um anyway, I
Yeah.
have one question for you, man. So like if money wasn't an issue, how would your day-to-day life actually change?
If money wasn't an issue, I would be fucking traveling way more because I want to travel so badly. As of like, once I feel like that's a common thing. If you just got out of college or you just got a job, once you hit a year, you realize, what the fuck am I doing wasting my time in corporate America in my 20s? I need to be anywhere else but here to see life, see cultures, see differences, to learn about myself. And I just know that two people that I'm aware of that I went to high school with have had the same thought. And I just,
I didn't go to high
that's
school, but I agree.
that's really oh, okay.
I
And
did.
the yeah, that is, I'd probably be traveling. I would still be doing YouTube for fun. Honestly, see, that's the thing that fucking sucks about YouTube as a job. You can't buy that shit. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's engagement. And like, even if someone gave me a ton of money or a ton of like opportunity stuff, if no one gives a shit about what I'm trying to create or entertain someone with, I've still, like, on a linear level, I've still failed. Like, I
So
want
you
that
measure
engagement.
failure by your success on YouTube and success and engagement with your creative process. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Not
So
everyone does, dude. A lot of people measure their life by their bank account or by the
yeah.
wife that they have with how big her boobs are or how big my Lamborghini or how loud my Lamborghini is. Like
How
there's just
big my Lamborghini is.
yeah.
I got extra wheels on this bitch. There's 6 wheels on this. How much money do we need? Ryan is basically saying, if you're happy, it won't matter.
Nope, 4.4 million minimum per
Okay. Yeah,
person.
true. There you go.
8.8 per household. And then the
Yep.
kids need to be in sweatshops. I'm fucking kidding. I'm
That's
kidding.
crazy. No, they need to be doing TikTok dances. So then
Facts. Well,
you
that's the
can
same thing.
profit off of them.
It's the same thing. That's the same thing.
Well,
Let's be
still proud.
honest.
Okay.
No, I'm being so for real though. It's kind of cliche, but like you got to make enough to put a roof over your head. You got to make enough to. I mean, my personal opinion. I want kids. I want to obviously supply the money for them and pay their bills. Basically, whatever makes you happy, and if you have the bills to pay them, I think that's enough. And that's where I'm going to stop it. So that's it for today's episode on how much money do we need. Again, very, very up to you. Make sure to tune in to care what and you made me laugh, bro. You said something.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Make sure to tune into the Care What People Think podcast. As Will said, tune on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and all other platforms. Please leave a review, a rating to help us out. It means the world. I mean, I hope next episode will actually be about something we hinted on. But anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you for listening. And remember, care what people think, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week on 182.3.